significant differences in the data can be found, frequently suggests that white youth are more likely to engage in illegal drug dealing than black youth. But that is not what you would guess by taking a peek inside our nation's prisons and jails, which are overflowing with black and brown drug offenders. In some states, 80 to 90% of all drug offenders sent to prison have been one race, African American. Now, I find that many people, when they actually see the data, they see the numbers, they say, oh, that's a shame. That's a shame, but you know, we need a drug war in those communities. We need to get tough on them because that's where the violent offenders are. That's where the drug kingpins can be found. We need to get tough with them. In fact, in my experience, most people seem to imagine that the war on drugs was declared in response to the emergence of crack cocaine in inner city communities and the related violence. The current drug war was declared in 1982 by President Ronald Reagan at a time when drug crime was actually on the decline, not on the rise. President Richard Nixon was the first to coin the term, a war on drugs, but it was President Ronald Reagan who turned that rhetorical war into a literal one, and at the time he declared his drug war, drug crime was on the decline, not on the rise, and less than 3% of the American population even identified drugs as the nation's most pressing concern. So why declare a drug war? A war? When drug crime is actually on the decline and less than 3% of the American population is all that much concerned about drugs? Well, from the outset, the drug war had relatively little to do with genuine concern about drug addiction, drug abuse, and had much to do with politics, racial politics. Numerous historians and political scientists have now documented that the war on drugs was part of a grand Republican Party strategy known as the Southern Strategy of using racially coded, get tough, appeals on issues of crime and welfare to appeal to poor and working class whites, particularly in the South, who are anxious about, threatened by, fearful of many of the gains of African Americans in the civil rights movement.